Okay, everyone. So now we're looking over my favorite section of my DL full lesson. So I'm gonna go with the video because I just really like the way our video ended up coming out. So our video in our original lesson is just a bit of a portion of our engagement, and so our group is, or our grade is first grade. So if we look over here, students will begin sitting at their own desks for engagement. They will be in whole groups watching a video before they break off into groups, similar to how we did it in the classroom version. The students would start off watching the video. And so if we could take a quick look at the video,
Curious
but
bird that was
it
always
was about Jimmy Bird, and he has, he's creative, he has aspirations, and he wants to like learn things, and he wants to learn about the world. And so he tells his family that he wants to travel, and as we can see, mom's not supportive, and dad almost seems mad. His family's just not supportive, and so it kind of gives a story-based introduction to hook in our first graders, our 6-year-old minds. And so something like this, a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more easily digestible, makes the topic and the learning objective much more palatable for the kids. So, like here, they're learning about all of their local communities and all the continents, and then all the oceans of the world. And so, hooking a 6-year-old into something like that,
Jimmy
it's
decided
got to
that
be,
he was
it's got to be a little. There's a method to it. You can't just do a lecture and show kids, the picture of the world the world map, and expect them to kind of pick it up. You gotta hook them in. And so uh, he tells them that he wants to explore the world. They're not happy about it. He tries to sneak off in the middle of the night, and then he has his parents supporting him, and they give him a blank map so that he can explore the world. He's very sad. He's touched by this. And with this, Jimmy sets off with his map that his parents just gave him. They're all proud of him. And now he can explore his journey. It's kind of like maybe not a coming of age, but, a short and simple, being supportive, small challenge. 6-year-olds can relate to this. It's a very basic, bare bones storytelling. And so the objective is for Jimmy to search around his local community now that he's left the nest. So right here we have Fresno, and so that would account for one of the local communities. And then we have the Golden Gate Bridge, so somewhere in their local area here, like in California, kind of gives the idea of North America. And then if we go off a little bit further and zoom out in the world, Jimmy's going to discover all of these continents. So a picture like this, it kind of engages the curiosity of a 6-year-old. It's like, oh, all these different colors and these different lines. Why are these different colors? Why are these different colors? These are different continents. And, well, we don't have one with the oceans here because we obviously didn't want to give it away because it's a student-focused learning. We're going to want them to discover that. And then we got the cute little, oh, I think I'm going to need a boat. So it's kind of a nod and a gesture to the fact that they're going to have to be learning about the oceans. And then here at the end, can you help Jimmy finish his map? So part of the lesson is, it's supposed to encourage the students to want to be hooked into learning about the continents and the oceans. Jimmy's setting off into the world and he needs to finish his map. He needs to fill it in. And so we, as the students in that class, will work on figuring out the locations on the map for Jimmy. And so let's go back to the lesson plan. After we watch the video, we will be asking the students, what are continents, and we're going to be assessing students' prior knowledge on this. So potential answers are like, I don't know, I think it's just a piece of land, it's what we live on, the United States. And so these are all different levels of, so like, I don't know, they just don't get it at all, it's the United States, it's in the right direction. A piece of land, it's like a vague in the right direction. So we would ask how we know that. And then right here, we didn't get to necessarily do it in our classroom presentation, but like if students talk about, potential sidetrack conversations where they talk about where they're from or where their family's from, it would allow us to have a little bit of like diversity and just kind of uh, adhere to social justice and universal design for learning a little bit, and cultural sustaining pedagogies, just the whole diversity aspect of all that. We could talk about and get in depth depending on the students, like, so our groups were meant to be mostly Hispanic and Latino students um, on our school campus, and so we would work with something like that. Um, And then from here, we would then have the students split off into the groups, how we normally would in our actual classroom engagement lesson. But yeah, just the engagement of just having the students watch the video and asking them and hooking them in with what places they know and where their family's from and how they know where their family's from and all that is just. I think it's a really nice way to engage some 6 year olds, potentially 5 year olds, into learning about the continents and the oceans of the world. So.